Hey, yo, YouTube, what's good? Welcome to the Resilient Mindset Podcast, a channel dedicated to the motivation of men's mental health and awareness. Today's topic of discussion: dopamine. You see, I'm wearing my Marvel fit, so I'm dropping nothing but straight truth bombs on this episode. I'll cover why mastering urges of instant gratification is super important to our productivity. Avengers? Nah, I'm just playing. Yo, let's get into it.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Welcome back. Society has made life convenient while everything is pretty much at the control of our fingertips. All our basic needs are easily accessible from food, transportation, entertainment, intimacy, dating, shopping, housing, employment, gambling, and the list just goes on. You may say, well, this sounds dope. What's the problem? The problem is we're creating generations of entitled, emotional, soft, needy, inactive, and weak minded young men. Yo, we're so spoiled in accessing instant gratification and even expect it without any effort, dedication, or struggle. Yo, you can't be serious. We currently have ridiculously lopsided relationships and continuous attempts to emasculate men. So, what's my answer? Understand your damn dopamine triggers. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that signals reward or pleasure motivators to the brain when doing something enjoyable. This means we condition ourselves mentally and physically to expect repetitive pleasure from certain activities, people, places, and things with the motivation of that dopamine hit. Don't get it twisted. Dopamine doesn't discriminate. These can be healthy or harmful experiences as long as it's pleasurable. And for those who want to read up more, you know my style. I'll post the link in the description so you guys can read up more on your own time. So we know that dopamine rewards us when we do repetitive, pleasurable activities. Like I said before, these can be healthy or harmful experiences. So, what are some of the pros and cons of dopamine? Let's get into it. Let's get into the cons. The cons of dopamine. Well, in some cases, you can develop an addiction to dopamine, and you might see this in people who love excitement, love that adrenaline rush, or adrenaline junkies. They just love to place themselves in just extreme situations where they get that feeling of rush because they get that reward of the dopamine hit. You also have people who are addicted to technology, social media, mindless scrolling, IG, Facebook, uh, Cornhub, anything that's related to technology that brings the mind stimulation or just gives you that pleasurable experience. Yeah, that's dopamine kicking in big time. I know you see some people that can't put their phones down for the life of them. It's like it's stuck to their hand from the time they get up in the morning to the time they go to bed at night. I don't know how many times you guys, I see it all the time. I'll be in the supermarket and even the damn cashier will be on the cell phone while they ringing up my stuff. And I'm like, you can't even put the phone down for a second to just ring up my groceries. So it's crazy. And I also let you know, fellas, when she says she didn't see your text, the lie detector determined that shit was a lie. Another kind of dopamine is we can develop poor impulse control. And this can be seen through alcohol, drugs, intimacy, spending habits, social media. We talked about that before. And all this turns out to be is the person becomes extremely emotional, aka a simp. And I know we use the term simp in the dating realm, but I believe you could be a simp in any scenario, right? So what that looks like is this person is becoming an emotional simp. They are needy. They need instant gratification. They need some type of gratification outside of themselves. They need someone to validate, how they're feeling, or they need someone to validate, basically their pleasure. They can't produce that internally. So again, a lot of people they resort to external stimuluses or stimuli, which, like I said, alcohol, drugs, intimacy, spending, social media. So then, you have these people that will do things out of the ordinary, do things that you would think no one would ever do because they need to get that fix because they can't find it within themselves. And I know I've been cracking some jokes, but seriously though, I've been on this side before, not in all of these scenarios. However, when I was going through my dark phase, I did rely on a lot of these things for external stimulus or external stimuli because I was lacking that self-worth and that self-motivation and that purpose and that drive. So I do understand it can be difficult. It's not something you could easily turn off. You can't flick it off with a switch. It's something that you definitely have to put some time, work, and effort into. And you have to definitely be mentally here to be ready to make those changes because it's going to be difficult. It's not something that just impacts you mentally, it impacts you emotionally and physically as well. So, for those who are struggling, I definitely empathize with you. And, that's why I'm here. We're going to talk about this and we're going to get through it together. So, the pros of dopamine, it's a natural motivator. Like I said before, when you do things that are naturally pleasing, your body automatically auto calibrates itself to recognize these things as pleasurable activities. So, like I said before, a lot of the times we just need to figure out what those dopamine triggers are because like I said before, dopamine doesn't have a type. As long as you're doing something that's pleasurable, it could be healthy or it could be unhealthy. As long as we can focus and put that drive and determination into healthier activities, we can then switch off the unhealthy activities and then put more focus and drive into the healthier activities. And we're definitely going to get into that further along in the video. And today's food for thought affirmation comes from Jim Ron. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Every day is a new day to be better than you was yesterday. Let that digest. Hey, yo, I most definitely appreciate you tuning in so far. I want you to do me a huge solid and hit the like and subscribe button for support by pushing my content to other viewers like you. So what we learned so far, we learned that we can't control our dopamine levels. However, we can recondition ourselves to healthier activities. And some healthier activities that we can engage in to increase healthier dopamine reactions or receptors is proper nutrition. Making sure that you eating 3 to 4 square meals a day and you're putting the proper nutrients and vitamins inside of your body because what we do put into our body affects us mentally. Next up, plenty of rest. Make sure you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day. When you don't sleep right, your brain is not functioning properly, and you're doing yourself a huge disservice when you're not getting the proper amount of rest, and that impacts the way your brain is going to function the next day. This next one is a fan favorite, exercising. Making sure that you're doing some type of movement throughout the day, whether it's walking, going to the gym. These things help to increase your dopamine levels. And we know also the other added effect is that when you exercise and you start to get in shape, you look good. And when you look good, you feel good. So it has a triple effect when we exercise. So guys, just making sure that you get in adequate amount of exercise or movement throughout the day. Next one is a sleeper, meditation. And I know some guys maybe might be like, yo, I'm not into meditating or sitting still. And meditation varies from person to person. Just long as you just taking some time out throughout the day just to focus on you, just, finding a quiet spot, turning off the music, just, focusing on you, just maybe listening to some quiet tunes or, do some deep breathing, whatever that looks like for you. But the main point is that you're taking some time out of the day just to focus on you and do something that's relaxing and calming and grounding. All right. So just make sure that you take some time out. It could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a half an hour, however you could fit that into your schedule. Take some time out for you out of the day. There's 24 hours in a day. I'm sure you could take some time out for you to make sure that you're getting yourself settled. All right. And last but not least, acts of kindness. And I think this goes back to the what the whole purpose of this video is finding ways that we can be productive, right? Finding things that we can do that we can use to enhance ourselves as well as our environment. So, and that's how we can do our acts of kindness because by being productive citizens or being productive people, period, that's going to help to increase the environment. That's going to help to increase our value within the community. That's going to help to increase the community's value. So by doing all these different things, that is showing acts of kindness because you're giving back to the community. You're giving back to the world. You're just giving back in general. And just by doing those acts of kindness, that increases our dopamine levels as well because you're doing something outside of yourself. You're doing something that's going to benefit someone else. And in return, it's going to benefit you as well because of the good work and the good deeds and the good energy that you're putting out into the world. So make sure you stay motivated and you stay on your purpose and you push your purpose because it's super important. Listen up. Our difficulty in controlling our impulses and seeking instant gratification can be a sign of deeper issues such as trauma or mental health issues. I would highly encourage you to seek professional advice and support. I want us men to do better, and we can do better. Yo, are you rocking with me or nah? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know if you gained any value from this video. Stay locked for more content by viewing another video. Stay resilient.